Hi everyone, welcome, hope you're all doing well. Today is another video where I take the opportunity to show off all the lovely vintage things I've found at my local charity shops, etc. It's usually lots of nice vintage clothes, occasionally some homewares, just a bit of everything, whatever I see that I think is interesting. So we won't talk too much, we will dive into my pile. I've definitely got at least one very exciting thing to show you. We've got some 70s vintage, we got some 60s vintage, we got a couple of little homeware bits. We've got it all today, so I will shut up and we will just dive in and see what lovely goodies I bought recently. So this is all stuff that I bought really like last week. So we've got a bit of a mix of things. Most of it is from charity shops. Let's start off with one like separate piece which I bought, which is this fun super floaty ton of fabric skirt. It is like this sheer fabric, but underneath it it's actually got like silver spandex, I guess you want to call it, like super metallic slinky fabric. And I just thought it was super pretty. It has like a ton of movement, and with having that kind of metallic underneath this, it just makes it like really pretty, like it has a little movement to it. And I thought having the black over the top makes it like not too in your face, all the metallic. I'm not really sure when this was made. I mean, all it really has in it is a name of the maker and a size label. So it really could have been made anytime. What I did wonder is if maybe it was originally designed for like dance. You know how you have like shops that just sell like leotards and stuff, like stuff, dance people stuff. I wondered if maybe it came from there, because like I say, it's got so much movement, but it's just super pretty. It's got a bit of a 70s vibe to it. It's got a bit of a flowy vibe to it, so right up my alley. Fits perfect. It was £5 from the Emmaus store, and it's just a nice, simple, easy thing to wear. It's super feminine and floaty. Now let's dive into the vintagey bits. First up, let's go for a little 70s cotton dress. So we've got this one, which is, to be honest, kind of in the same vein as the one that I'm wearing. It is just plain cotton with like a print and then a little bit of like smocking. This is actually one which was done by St. Michael, who are in fact Marks and Spencer's. And it's just really simple cotton. It's got this pretty kind of Indian inspired print to it, in sort of greens and oranges, with a little bit of pink down the bottom. I like the kind of like border print design and then kind of it being repeated around the bust. I thought that was quite pretty, but it's just like a super simple summer piece. It was £7 from Mind. I have not tried it on yet. It looks really tiny, but it's like smocked, which means it should theoretically kind of stretch to fit everyone. But it's just like super simple and easy for the summertime. Then again from Mind, we have a really simple black dress, and this one I believe is 1960s. It feels like that super high quality early polyester fabric. Delicious, unique to the 60s. And it says it is made in France, best clout I think it is, dry cleaning recommended, and that's literally all it's got. But it definitely has that feeling if you've ever felt like the early polyesters or Compleen or anything like that. It's got that kind of crunchy feel. But it's just super simple, and I just have a lot of outfits where it's good to just have a simple black dress to put on. And this one is slightly longer than my other black 60s mini dresses, so it's just a bit better for our lady in her 30s. But this one was only £7.50. Simple black dress, little black dress, can't go wrong with it. Then the final dress I picked up from Mind was this one. And this one, I literally have no idea how old it is. It is in a 50s shape, and it theoretically could be 50s, but I just feel like it's later. So I'm wondering if maybe 80s during the 50s, but there's no labels and I'm just not 100% sure exactly when it's from. But it has this really nice kind of Aztec type print all along, like a border print on the bottom, which I thought was pretty. It is in like the stereotypical 1950s fit and flare shape. We've got that big full skirt with a border print, and the top is just simply cut. Like I said, there's literally no labels anywhere in it, so I'm not really sure exactly who made it or when, but it's just one of those simple kind of summer dresses that you can throw on anytime. It's also in like kind of nice autumn shades, so I feel like you could wear it anytime. But I just thought it was an interesting print. It was super cheap. I think it was £4.50 this one. And yeah, it's definitely got that 50s vibe, but no idea when it was made, and just an interesting print. So there we go. Now on to what has to be my star piece of vintage for this past week. It's something, it's by a brand that I have always wanted a dress by, never was able to afford one. Didn't think I'd ever find one super cheap in England because they're actually an American brand. But I found this one very, very cheap, and I literally could not believe it. It is a dress, a lovely 1970s prairie dress by the one and only Gunne Sax, who, if you don't know much about them, they were kind of the OG prairie dress designers. They started in '69, and they just kind of encapsulated that 1970s kind of bohemian vibe. They made a lot of like formal wear and stuff as well. They made like Hillary Clinton's wedding dress and things like that. But they just, all their designs are all like big, ruffly skirts, lots of like high necklines and lace and floaty bits and all sorts of lovely 1970s kind of Victoriana style things. But they now sell on eBay for between like 150 and like 360 pounds. So yeah, I didn't think I'd ever be able to find one. This one is kind of an unusual one. It doesn't have the high neckline and the sleeves because it's actually a halter neck, and it's like linen with green velvet. It's kind of doing a little bit medieval, a little bit Victorian inspired, which was both kind of really popular in the 70s. It's like a halter neck with an empire line. Now this I actually bought at a boot sale. Like I say, I didn't think I'd ever find one in the UK for super cheap. I very nearly didn't find this one because this lady had literally just put it down and it was folded like this, and I kind of saw it, I could only see like this green velvet, and then there was like a flounce on it. And to be honest, I just kind of thought that was like curtains, but something on my brain went, oh, but it might be a dress, it might be a 70s dress. But yeah, all I could see was green velvet and a bit of a flounce, so I kind of just thought it was old-fashioned curtains. But I thought I'll just go check it just in case it is a 1970s dress. Picked it up and I was like, oh yeah, this is not a dress, but maybe it's like a fancy dress one, like what is it? Not too sure. Literally went to look to see if there's a label, and all I saw was the top half, and I literally couldn't believe it. I didn't even look any lower to see what size it was or anything. I just saw the top of the label. I was like, miss, excuse me, how much do you want for your dress? Like literally couldn't believe it. Hadn't even looked at it properly. It was like shaking. I was like, how much do you want for it? She's like, oh, £2. So yes please, yep. So I paid for it straight away. Couldn't finish looking around that bit of the boot sale because I was like shaking. I couldn't believe it. I've wanted one of these for years, and here it was, super cheap, and I could actually afford it. It was wild. But yeah, that's the story of how I got my very own Gunne Sax dress. Now, the downside to it, I'm very happy to have finally had one, but it doesn't really fit me properly. It is kind of the bummer. It's just a bit too tight. My boobs are exploding out of it, like boob everywhere, which probably means that I wouldn't ever actually wear it. So I am kind of leaning towards I should sell it, because like I say, they're quite expensive, and can I really justify just keeping it in my wardrobe if I'm never really going to wear it because my tits are exploding out of it? But I've always wanted a Gunne Sax, but is it worth keeping it just hidden away when somebody else could wear it? So I am leaning towards I'll probably end up selling it, but it was still a bargain. I still love it. But yeah, I literally couldn't believe that I found one for £2. It was wild. It's probably the most valuable bit of vintage I found at a boot sale. And yeah, for £2, of course I grabbed it. I literally, like I say, hardly looked at the label. I was just like shaking, couldn't believe it. Then moving on from vintage, I have kind of like a little mystery bag to go through. Something I've never seen before is in the British Heart Foundation charity shop. They're doing like bags of brand new jewellery from Claire's Accessories. It must be just like their end of season stock, etc. that they just put into little like baggies for people. But there's quite a lot in there, and it was only £1. And this one has some nice earrings on the front, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get that and have a little rummage. So here we go, jewellery haul. So in here, those earrings that I liked are like kind of like Mandela style, dream catcher like. They have little pink tassels and just a simple like swirly design. Very cute for summer. I like this kind of tassel design. I think it goes great with like 70s dresses and things. Very cute. Little teeny tiny necklace that has got a really tiny bow on it. Almost invisible. It is so tiny, this little bow, but it is quite cute. Then we have a sheet of earrings. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs of earrings there. So that's not bad. I like these tiny little pearls. I'll probably wear those the most, and maybe the hoops. Some faux septum piercings. Not sure that's going to suit me, but there we go. Would prefer genuine septum piercings because then I could put it in my jade hole, but there we go. Then last up we've got a little ring, and this is actually silver, and it's a cute little stars, and I do love celestial jewellery, so I probably actually will wear that quite a lot. It's also adjustable, which makes it very convenient. It's not bad for £1. It's actually got the prices that they originally sold for on the back, so your 3 fake septum rings should have been £10 apparently. This should have been 12, so that's 22. This should have been 10, so that's 32. This should have been 6, so that is 38. This should have been 2, so it's £40 if you'd have gone to Claire's and bought it all new. So that's not a bad bargain for £1. You're definitely taking a risk, it's not all going to be to your style, but I think there's some cute bits there for my £1. Then the very final thing I bought was from the British Heart Foundation again, and it's this just cute little simple like test tube holder, and this is actually really for propagating certain types of plants. So you can put your little cuttings in there, and like the good millennial I am, I do have plants which I can take cuttings from and put in there. But I also thought it might be cute to display other things. You could put just like a couple of flowers in there and stuff. It was £2.49. Yeah, I just thought it would look cute. It's got these kind of spokey legs, and all my furniture is like 60s spokey legged furniture, so it just kind of fits the vibe that's going on in here. Yeah, so I just thought it was quite nice for £2.49. So that was everything that I bought. Like I said, it was last week I bought all of that stuff. You'll have to let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, as per usual. I will be back as soon as I've got another little bundle of goodies to show off, which, knowing me, will not take very long. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great day, week, month, etc. And I'll hopefully see you all again soon. Bye everyone!